How does this hold up in a wash test? Let's take a look at RPGShow. My name is Ashley. Welcome back to Life Beyond Locks. Today we are unboxing an RPGShow wig. Gonna look at it out of the box and then I'm gonna put it through the typical wash test and see how it performs. Now, just before you even get into watching this, if you aren't familiar, RPGShow is a budget-friendly brand. This piece is gonna come in somewhere in around $400 minus my discount code. And so you really are looking at truly a budget piece for human hair. So that means my expectations are going to be realistic, knowing that it's a budget-friendly piece. And I ask that you go in with an open mind as well, because that's what we have to do when we're looking at budget-friendly pieces. There's no way we're going to get the quality of a high-end piece for $400, but we might get something that is actually very wearable and that we can be comfortable leaving the house in. And so that's what we're going to see if this holds up to do today. So I try not to spend time focusing on packaging because I never really care about it when I'm watching review videos, but I will say when I see nice packaging, it does kind of grab my attention. And this is beautifully screen printed bag. You know, we've got a beautiful box here. Let's take a look. There's all kinds of goodies in here. So admittedly, I've opened it and looked at it, but I haven't tried it on. So we'll see how that looks. I don't always share what's inside of the bag or inside of the box because I don't find that it really matters too much. Most of the time you get a basic wig grip and then that's about it. But in this case, you get so many goodies that I really did want to show it to you. For one, you get 2 pieces of scar tape that are extra long. So that's amazing because you can either cut it in half and have 2 small pieces per pack, or you get these 2 long ones. So scar tape, they give you one of the bands if you do plan to glue this. So I'm gonna wear this as a glueless wig. I don't glue down my pieces, but if you wanna glue it down, this band is what you use to hold the wig, the lace down while the glue dries. They also have a say goodbye to frizzy hair stick flyaway tamer. So that's pretty awesome if you're dealing with return hairs. All the details of the wig come in a card. I'll show you this. That's super cool. I've never seen a company do that before. Wig caps and a carrying case to protect your wig. Pretty cool giveaways in there, or freebies in there. I do like that. The specs on this, it is Sovia, the Wig Stylist 015C. It has the order number. It includes the texture, which they say is silky. They say the length is 20 inches, but this is much longer than 20 inches. The size they say is size 1, which is 21.5 to 22 inches. So I did not end up getting a small. This is probably going to run big on me. Generally speaking, companies that are overseas companies tend to have bigger caps to begin with, and I'm a small head. It's a glueless 13x6 with a Swiss lace front, and they're calling it a 200% density with transparent Swiss lace. So it's cool that they have that all in there. I would flash the card to you, but it does have my order number, so I'll keep it private, but very nice to have that. I've, like I said, never seen that before. Usually you get a tag on the wig, but not something with all that kind of detail, so that if you have to contact them about the wig later on, all that information is there. Maybe I'll put up a split screen so that you can see what I believed I was ordering and what I got in exchange. And I will say, in terms of the overall color, I think they actually got it pretty close to what I was seeing in the photograph. But it was going to be a rooted piece that went into an ash brown. And I will say this is very ashy, like very, very ashy. No complaints from me about that. I love ashy pieces. And also it definitely has rooting. The rooting is darker than I imagined. They put some money pieces in the front though to deal with the knots a little bit. So darker root than I anticipated, but like very well colored, I would say. You know, like that blend is subtle. And that is something I find hard to come by with budget brands that are overseas, personally. So for me to see that out of the box is like kind of cool. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about this now. Okay, so take a look at the inside of the cap. So we have, yes, 13x6 lace. So that's a large lace area. Typical adjusters. And I'm going to remove, they have one of these bands. So if you like extra security, it sits behind your head. But I'm going to take it out because I just personally don't love them. But I love that they include it because it gives you options. So that's that security band. They have side combs and yeah, and a back comb. This is really cool. They also have lace at the back. So there's a little bit of lace at the nape, which means that if you want to wear this up as kind of like a pony wig, to a certain extent, you can do that. It's going to look like the hair is growing out of the nape of your neck. That I've never seen that on a wig, period. And I've never seen it on a budget wig. So that's very cool. A little bit big. The adjusters are all the way in on me. And you can see here that as I pull this down, it's right over my, okay, I'm gonna need some scar tape because they have a pre-plucked front hairline. See that? And because of that, you can really see my bio hair right there. So I would put the scar tape now, but I don't want to do it because I'm going to wash the wig. So we're just going to pretend that we don't see my bio hair, and I'm going to wear this a little bit further forward maybe this time. Okay. It smells good. I love when that happens. Okay. I've got to step on my tippy toes. It's definitely more than 20 inches, even from the nape. That's a lot of inches right there. This is a long wig. I'm 5'3", and it's going down at the longest to my hips. I will say it is likely, I don't know if it's double drawn because it's quite thin at the end. So I'm going to go probably not, but that's to be expected for this price point. But on the whole, this is really pretty, no? Okay, let's take it off, cut the lace, and put it back on for business. Again, I really wish that I had some scar tape there right now so that I could do this properly. Okay, I love that actually. Okay, so we do have combs on the side, but no real ear tab, which I think is good because I don't love where this hits. It would hit over my ear, but because we have this lace piece, if you need it, you can glue it down if you don't have any bio hair. But if you do have bio hair on the side, you can just cut into that lace right there and then ear tuck. And I thought it was shedding and I realized it's coming out of the ear tab where I cut the lace. You can just do this and blend your own bio hair. So it's definitely ear tuckable. Not bad at a first glance. The money pieces in the front are pretty heavy in this one, I would say. And the knots are pretty good. I think they're lightly bleached. It doesn't say, but I think they're lightly bleached. But I do find that the hairline is quite heavily plucked. So if I'm being honest, I'm going to go ahead and wash this, air dry it, and then show you what it looks like afterwards. But if I were to keep this wig and wear it regularly, there's enough room here for me that I think I would probably cut into this lace part, because when I see, you can see it in camera right now, there's like a little gap here. So I think that I would just go boop, cut the lace and start wearing it from that point backwards. And I'm also going to be cutting the length because though it is quite long, the ends for me, you know, they're not bad actually for long hair. Like I can't imagine, you know, the donor is going to, like, that hair that's this long over time is going to become damaged right on somebody's head. So I think I would probably just snip about here and have the wig be a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna wash her. This is what she looks like before. And when I come back, we'll see how she air dried and what we're gonna do with her next. Welcome back. She dried so beautifully. I have to say, I am really impressed. When I first got this piece, I was impressed with a lot of the features, like this lace that we discovered and, you know, the color overall, like this kind of balayage ashy tone. I really like it. But you know, I wasn't like 100% sure because I always want to see how the piece washes and how it dries. And let me tell you, I'm very pleased. I think that this piece, I was wrong about the price. I actually think it comes in closer to $300 with my coupon code, which is wild. So keep in mind everything that we're looking at right now, we're looking at a $300-ish to $400 wig. So for human hair, we need to be realistic about our expectations. And I will say, when I washed it, there was no shedding that I can recall at all, actually. I did wash it multiple times until the water started to run somewhat clear. Now, I would not advise you to do this with your own wigs necessarily, right? Like, wash them. It's normal to lose color the first couple of washes. That's true with our bio hair. When we wash it, we expect that we're going to lose some color for the first couple of washes, but I like to put these through the ringer, so to speak. So I will wash them until pretty much the water runs clear. So I had to wash it several times before that color drained out. And I was worried that we would lose a lot of pigment. And we did lose some pigment. It's maybe not showing up so much on camera, but we did lose some. in the bottom half here, nothing in the top where it's brunette. So, you know, I did kind of like, I think it's a bit lighter now, a little bit more washed out. Maybe the color is a little bit rich, less rich on the bottom. But like I said, it was several washes that I put it through, and it still looks really good. It still looks really, really good. So you can see here it dried with a nice loose wave that I think we're going to try right now to see how long it takes to get the kinks out of this, but I have a feeling it's going to be pretty easy to do. I'll pop it on my head so you can see what it looks like on me, but it's going to look a little weird because it was just washed. Okay, so here we go. So you can see it, you know, has a pretty nice natural wave. There's a lot of density at the top. So I'm gonna actually cut it, and I've decided, I think I mentioned it earlier, I'm gonna cut right back. I'm gonna remove this money piece altogether. I think I'm gonna like the piece a lot better when I don't have the money piece. I know they did it to make the knots more concealed at that front hairline, but I'm actually okay with knots because I usually let the hair fall forward anyways. So I'm gonna get rid of this and start wearing the cap further forward, which is fine for me because the cap's already a little bit big for me. So that's what I'm gonna do. But before I do that, I'll show you what it's like to style. So I'm actually gonna do this on camera. I'll do a little bit of it with you just so we can see together how well does it straighten. Oops, it's hard because I'm looking into a camera rather than a mirror. So if I was to be doing this in front of a mirror, it would probably look a little bit differently. But there we go. Takes a curl very easily. So if you're wondering, am I going to be able to curl it? How's it going to heat style? The answer is it's going to heat style very well. And I'm gonna actually take it off, put it on a canvas head and do it that way. But I just wanted to show you together basically what it is that I'm gonna be doing. So I'm gonna start like this, do the bottom part, then put the top layer down so that I can eliminate some of the frizz. Not the frizz, because it's not really frizzy actually at all. The return hairs are totally fine and calm, it's not crazy, but just to smooth out the top so that we get, you know what I mean? We get that puffiness and that smoothness at the top, and then I'm going to go in and do my curls. So that's how I'm going to get that style achieved. Just section it off, do the bottom part first, smooth it to the halfway, and then do my curls. And I'll be right back. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so I had a bit of a change of heart and I want to be documenting this whole process so you can see where we started and where we end up. So I started curling this wig and then I realized that curling it would be a bit of a waste of time because I know that I want to cut the wig, but I don't want to cut the wig until I've straightened it and I can really see what I'm working with. So I went ahead and I actually took out, I had already curled half of this side I think, yeah. And then I decided to go in and actually flat iron it so we could see what we've got. So I'm going to show you kind of one last time before I take the scissors to this and chop it a little bit. So this is all of the beautiful length that we have. All right, so I am back and very, very pleased. I did cut a little bit off the ends, probably about 6 inches, maybe a little bit more. That just tells you how long it was, but I'm gonna cut it further still. I just didn't wanna lose too much of the original piece. I wanted you to see, you know, as close as it could be out of the box. But I'm probably gonna take it up to about here. And I think you'll probably agree that that's going to it's removed a lot of those thinner ends, and if I cut to about here, I'm gonna have a lot more density at the end, so it'll balance out what is a pretty poofy, voluminous top. So I think it'll look a little bit better if I cut it a little bit shorter yet, but I did add like some face framing pieces. I'm gonna bring those up even more. And then I went ahead, this is my hair, by the way, that's not a defect in the wig. And then I added just some loose curls. So I will say I am very happy with how it turned out. It doesn't take a curl brilliantly. Like, the hair is a little bit tricky to work with, but that's not surprising given the price point. Despite that, like, this is quite beautiful. It doesn't look, now that it's been cut, it doesn't look bad though. So it's hard to get to keep a curl. You're gonna have to work it a little bit, but it looks shiny and healthy, which is what really matters, I think. Okay, so there's one more thing I want to draw your attention to, and I'm going to deal with it right now on camera. So the knots. So I went in and cut the front hairline out. The knots were not super visible at the front hairline because they had lighter pieces at the front, but I went in and cut those out. So now I have this pretty harsh front hairline. We see that? This side less so than this side because I actually went in and started plucking with tweezers. So I thought before I finish doing that, I should show you what I've been doing. So I'm going to take this off my head, put it on a mannequin head, and just show you how I remove those knots one by one. Because there's also short little hairs in here because I just snipped like right at that hairline. So I'm going to pull out those short little baby hairs, remove their knots, and then put a little bit of powder on the part line, and then we'll see the final look. Like, how realistic can we get this hairline to look after some tweaking? So let's do that together now. Okay, so I'm back. Some of those knots were a little stubborn. I'm definitely gonna have to work them a little bit more. Like I couldn't use the tweezers to get them out without fraying the lace. So I'm gonna have to go in with a bright light and a pair of glasses because I'm not wearing my glasses to finish it off. But I did a pretty quick job, and then I applied some powder on the part line and on the front hairline to conceal those knots. So I'll get really close here. So is it flawless? No. Would I wear this out? Yes. I don't think many people are going to notice. Oh, I have to cut that lace a little bit more there, I think, to do a good ear tuck. But either way, I think it's definitely wearable at this stage, especially if you're looking, I've said this before, if you are nervous about wearing a wig out in public and sort of being noticed for wearing a wig, my recommendation is one, go somewhere out of your own town or out of your own community, right? So that people don't know what you look like ordinarily. But two, try doing it at nighttime. This is the perfect night out hair. Date night hair, night out with the girls, you're going to a concert, you wear hair like this, it is very unlikely that anyone's going to notice, and you're going to feel really good about yourself because you've got this beautiful hair to play with. And those knots, the types of smaller details that, you know, you're not going to have completely perfect with a super duper budget wig are going to be there, but they're not going to be as noticeable in the nighttime. So just keep that in mind. I think though, like I said, this is coming along really, really nicely. I wouldn't hesitate to wear it out, especially for $300. It's such a good price point. Even if they do, you know, raise their prices over time a little bit, I still think this is worth it because you have so much length to play with. You can take this to a stylist if you're not comfortable cutting it yourself. But if you do want to try cutting it yourself, that's the beautiful thing. There's so much hair to play with that it's kind of hard to mess it up, right? Because you can always go a little bit shorter. So even if you do take it to a stylist and you do a few customizations to it, I think in the end, you're going to end up with a really beautiful piece at a really, really, really fantastic price. So yeah, let me know what you think of this one. Let me know what you think of it. If you think I should cut her more, do you agree that I should cut her sort of just like a slightly below the shoulder style? What other pieces from RPG Wig Show would you like to see? I feel like I might do another review because I'm so pleased with how this one turned out for the price. So let me know what you'd like to see, and let me know if this video was helpful for you. If you'd like to see more videos like this where I take something out of the box and then I watch test it, I customize it, I do all the things, or do you want me to stick with like just what does it look like out of the box? Is that more helpful for you? Because I know sometimes it can be a little daunting seeming to do all of this work to it, but I promise you with just a little bit of practice, you're going to feel increasingly comfortable. I'm not a hairstylist. I don't know anything about hair cutting or coloring, but I feel like in time, you know, I'm getting a little bit better and a little bit better. And I'm saving myself a lot of money in the interim by not taking my pieces to stylists. So anyways, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for being here.